Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Now today we're talking about this saga in recent days between Toni Kroos and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Now it all started with Kroos and his podcast, which he does with his brother Felix, and he's been doing it for a while now. It wasn't the first, since it's a controversial subject, it got a lot of people talking on social media once it was said. So what he basically came out saying was that he feels players celebrate too over the top, and he likes celebrations which are more plain and more simple, like Gerd Muller's, where he'd pull his shorts up and jump up in the air. So one of the people in mind which he thought did that was Aubameyang. In Kroos' exact words, and I'll read it off the screen so I'm precise, Kroos said, "Aubameyang once celebrated and took out a mask. That's where it ends with me. I don't think that's a good role model either. What nonsense." But then when Aubameyang found out this, he then hit back saying, "By the way, does this Toni Kroos have kids? Just remember, I did this for my son a few times, I'll do it again. I wish you have kids one day, make them happy." Which is quite a poor comeback in my opinion. I feel the least you can do is a bit of research and find out, does he actually have kids? Because if he says yes, then the whole violation just kind of cancelled out. And he could have easily just said something like, "Mind your business, like why do you care why I celebrate so much? Go and focus on your own team." After Kroos replied, Aubameyang tagged him in a picture that was done by 433 with Royce and Aubameyang in a Batman and Robin outfit, saying, "Congratulations, yours truly, Batman and Robin." Then that seems to be the end of it. But then Ozil got involved as well, who was teammates of both Kroos for Germany and Aubameyang for Arsenal, and said, "I love the celebration. This is my favourite." When Aubameyang was in his Black Panther mask celebrating a goal, and then Aubameyang replied saying, "Yes, my bro." And that was basically the end of that, and that's sort of been nothing since. He did also talk about Griezmann as well, saying how he's another player who celebrates too over the top in his opinion. He did take the L a lot in the World Cup when he scored, and he's done a lot of celebration in the past for Atletico Madrid, which at the very least are questionable in terms of how he does it. And he's done it for Barcelona as well. But I've looked and I can't see Griezmann saying anything to Kroos back after what he said about Griezmann. In my opinion on this whole subject, I think it's probably a bit over the top from Kroos. I think players should have the right to celebrate. I feel like when players celebrate this, it makes the game sort of more personal, makes it more sort of the personality of the player. And, if they just sort of jumped up in the air and sort of did no sort of celebration that was out of the ordinary, then it would just make it feel a bit more robotic. So it's nice when sort of player has their own kind of celebration. I think when it's a really over the top one, where it's like a dancing one or something, then it kind of doesn't really seem respectful if you do it when you're battering a team, 4 or 5-0. But if you're doing it like 1-0, 2-0, I think it's fine to do. If we didn't have any of these sort of celebrations as well, though, we wouldn't have anything like the iconic Jesse Lingard dance at the Emirates, or the Haaland meditation celebration, or the classic Ronaldo Su, as well as many others that we well know around the world. But with Kroos in his podcast, doesn't end there. He actually said the day before this thing about Aubameyang that he doesn't like the way UEFA and FIFA running the football world. He thinks there's a lot of money and a lot of greed involved, and there's no interest in the players and what they want, and their mental fatigue and their physical fatigue are being taken advantage of. Competitions such as UEFA Nations League, the Club World Cup, and the Spanish Super Cup being played in Saudi Arabia last year, which he all mentioned, you can't really argue them on that basis too much. And hopefully it's the start of something new, because there has been a lot of this, and you do feel that football could be going the wrong direction and more of a greed direction rather than actual what the fans and what the players want. So that's basically what was said. There hasn't really been anything mentioned since. That seems to be the end of it. And I think, to be honest, when we look at what's going on in the international break, there's not much to really talk about. So anything that is going, it's going to be a mountain out of a molehill, and I think it's all dealt with now. So until Arsenal play Real Madrid in the Europa League in the knockout stages, we'll see who have the last laugh then. Until next time, guys, take it easy.